Hey everybody, Stu Smith here, not going live and not doing a tactical fitness report. This is just me explaining something. I have been in this fitness writing business for many years now, well over 20, about 25 actually. And since I've been working out and writing about it, I've had people move on into their tactical careers. They have since retired even. Some are still active, well into their 40s and going into their 50s. And that's who I'm talking to today, because I realized a few years ago that I was neglecting that group that has had to grow into fitness through athletics when they were young, and then maybe into some kind of selection or boot camp or academy to get into their current profession. And then after 30, maybe even 35, 40, you start to notice you're not as young as you used to. You don't recover like you used to. Maybe some of those old aches and pains from previous sports and injuries are coming back and revisiting you and just reminding you, oh, remember that shoulder injury you had in high school football? Well, this is what it feels like now, and it's something to deal with. So I too was going through that journey. As I aged, I had to realize I needed to evolve and to make some changes into my workout, because I just couldn't crush it like I used to. And that's where I came up with that mobility day, middle of the week mobility day, which is nothing more than basically a spin class and a yoga class having a baby, right? And it's 5 minutes of cardio followed by 5 minutes of stretching and mobility work, maybe massage tools in there as well. And that has been ever since life-changing, to the point where I thought I wasn't going to be able to run after about age 45. I was really feeling a run cycle as we were peaking in the summer. Yeah, that was about 8 years ago. And I've been running ever since, mainly due to that, just the one addition of that midweek mobility day. And it was so helpful for me that I even started getting my younger guys that I'm training to do it. And I was shocked that we had two different things occur. We had fewer injuries, ability to take a day and recover some of those normal aches and pains, but have a recovery day. But we also used it as a great time to practice technique. And those techniques that went really well after mobility day was anything in the pool. So whether that was swimming technique, treading technique, drown proofing skills, any of those future tests that many of these young guys were having to take, we focused on. And it was very helpful. I mean, to the point of where somebody could not do the egg beater kick on the first of the month, and at the end of the month was crushing it, not quite like a water polo player, but for a non-swimming athlete, he was able to get himself into the position properly to actually have a forceful breaststroke kick that is nothing more. Alternating breaststroke kick is the egg beater. So that is just one of many benefits that come from that one addition of mobility day, whether you're young or old. And I recently did an article and a podcast series with a Lieutenant Colonel Behringer, who's a nutritionist, and we were talking about longevity. And we came up with the term longevity is the mastery of recovery, but optimal performance is also the mastery of recovery. So for you guys that are pushing the age and you're still getting after it, consider adding that mobility day. Now, if you need a little more guidance with that, I did come up with a 4-series program called the Tactical Fitness Over 40 Foundation Building. This is for folks that have just kind of let themselves go or have been injured and they've put on some weight and they got to restart themselves. I always tell people, well, if you've been out from training for a while due to injury or illness, treat yourself like a beginner for a while. This is a good way to do that. And it has these mobility days built into it. Your next one is, what do you do after that? You take it to the next level. So this is more of an intermediate guide that just takes the same process, that midweek mobility day, and just progresses into more of a calisthenics, but also some weight mixed in there. So it's more of a maintenance, though you can still improve your fitness abilities with it as well. It's a good next step. So if you're not quite injured or recovering from injury, but you're not quite advanced, this is part 2 of that. You take your fitness to the next level. That's a good one. Now, if you want to take it to another level, to what I would call high intermediate advanced level, the next book in the series is Ready to Compete. And you're basically preparing for the next challenge, whatever that is. There's running, there's swimming, there's rucking. It's a nice little steady progression with running as well. Still has that mobility day right in the middle of the week. And, that's a good one to take into the, a little more advanced level. Now, this was the first one I did of that series. And this is basically just my workout after 45 years old of what we do. And it is a taste of what seasonal tactical fitness periodization is all about. So the term seasonal tactical fitness periodization, you may have seen me talk about it. Every season, I have a different element of focus or element of fitness that I focus on. And it works really well to, 1, not overtrain, but 2, not neglect any of those things that you don't like doing. So for instance, running and calisthenics and swimming, rucking too. We do a lot of calisthenics and cardio throughout the spring and summer. But in the spring, we are progressing into a running program, and we're degressing out of a lifting program into a higher calisthenics muscle stamina program throughout the summer. That's where we are right now. It's a lot of fun. Everybody gets kind of ripped up, and PT scores just skyrocket. And it's a good way to focus on those elements of fitness. However, in the fall, by the time you've really been crushing it all summer, you're starting to feel some of the nagging aches and pains of high mileage, high repetitions on your joints. And we do just the opposite. We kind of decrease our running a little bit, decrease our repetitions a little bit progressively, and we take weight and we start adding it to those fewer reps. So in the fall, we are basically adding weight and decreasing reps and decreasing mileage, but we do increase some non-impact cardio mileage as well. So a little more swimming, maybe biking if you don't want to swim or can't swim. And that's what this one's all about. This one has 4-week seasonal cycles. So you can give yourself a little test to see which ones you like the best. And then from there, you can go into a spring summer cycle, or you can go the fall winter cycle, or do one of the block periodization models. But this is a 4-part series that just teaches the really fundamentals of getting back into it, but also acknowledging I really need to focus on some things that I've been neglecting, such as mobility, flexibility, even grip. Grip's a big part of it. But then, we all tend to do things we like to do, and we don't do things we don't like to do, or we're not good at doing. This system allows you to stay good at everything, not necessarily great at any one thing, but if your job is still in the tactical professions, or you just want to be a well-rounded athlete, so you are an actual asset to any potential danger, whether that is a natural disaster or a man-made situation, where that is an emergency situation, you have the physical abilities to handle that. So that is the journey. So I it's been a lot of fun readdressing some of my first customers and clients that I did back in the late 90s with my original programming, and see them 20 years later, getting ready to retire and making this transition into this type of training, and they're still getting after it. So that's what it's all about right there. Staying active, staying an asset, and becoming one if you've kind of neglected things for a few years. So if you have any questions about that, check out stewsmithfitness.com. That's where you can find these. You can also use a coupon code and save 20% off any purchase. Use compete 20 and save 20%. So thanks for sticking around on that little explanation / commercial. If you guys got any questions, you can also email me, stew@stewsmith.com. I also do a live Q&A session on Mondays and Tuesday mornings at 9 a.m. East Coast time. One is a workout and review week with some Q&A afterwards, and then the other one's a Q&A with some combat swimmer stroke critique. So if you want me to critique your swimming or any other exercise, just send me a video. Happy to do it and make some comments on that and hopefully help you move in the right direction. With that, folks, have a good one. Stu Smith out.